city. DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one. Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Let's get it. Yeah. No, with me. Yeah. I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So let's breeze, baby.
He the one.
With me. So let's breeze.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. This is episode 51 of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for another dope episode. You dig, man? Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world, man, in the UK, the States, Germany, Mexico. You dig, man? I appreciate you guys joining me back here for Talk Pro Wrestling, man. It's going to be an exciting episode. If you guys watching on YouTube and if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what it is, man. Smash the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. Of course, man, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, all that good stuff, and share it so we can get the 1130 podcast up and out there. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, yo, I'm back with another banger, a dope episode of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. You guys, I got a great guest lined up this week on the podcast, you guys. All the way, you guys, from Little Rock, Arkansas, you guys. He's the big man, you guys. Yes, he's an independent pro wrestler, you guys. He is the RWE Champion. He wrestles for Live Wire Wrestle, Coastal Empire Wrestling, you guys. Just to name a few, you guys. My man, big man, Toomer. He's going to be joining me here on the 1130 podcast, you guys. But before we get to that, I want to shout out my guest who was on last week from the Old Face Wrestling podcast, JT. Thank you so much for being on the show. But you guys, let's get into it, man. We ain't gonna waste no time no more. Big man, Toomer, how's it going, bro?
Man, cooling, bro, cooling. Just chilling, man.
That's what's up, man. I can't complain, man. I appreciate you joining me here on the podcast, man. How's everything?
Man, everything cool, bro. Appreciate you for the invite, man. Like, definitely looking into getting into doing more of these with a lot of people.
Okay. Have you been on the podcast before?
Man, I've been on a couple. I got a homie, Chris Dilworth. He runs I don't know if he runs it, but I've been on his podcast a few times. But I've mainly known him from WCC Brawl and a couple other podcasts that I met through the NAW group on Facebook. Okay. That's what's up. How life treating you though? Bro, everything cool, man. Things are slowly progressing as we trying to navigate through COVID, but everything been cool, man.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, trying to get through this, man. Been crazy times going on right now, but we trying to get through it. Once again, thank you for joining me here on the podcast. I mentioned just a few minutes ago, you're from Little Rock, Arkansas. Yep. Are you born and raised from Little Rock?
Yeah, man. Born and raised out here, man. Born and raised out here, running around out here doing the most. And then was like, man, I need to do something different, and I need to kind of switch my lane to switch my focus. Okay. And then I started getting into wrestling, and I always been into wrestling, but I never knew where to go to train. And then one of the homies like pointed me in a mutual friend through a mutual friend through a mutual friend was doing a show, a small independent show, and the show maybe had like 5 or 6 people in the crowd there. But I saw it and he was like, man, yeah, come on there and I can show you or introduce you to some people who can train you. Went out, did the show, or went to the show, checked it out. Was like, man, all right, it's small, but it's something we can grow with. And the rest is history, man. They kind of took me into the circle, trained me, and from day one, I hit the ground running.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Something you love, man. Did you grow up loving wrestling?
Oh yeah, man. I came up like everybody else, the classic cliche story. Yeah. Came up watching wrestling with your grand folks, and that's where it started, man. But we was kind of on some different stuff, man. While everybody was like on the Hogans and the Macho Mans, my grandpa was on the Junkyard Dogs, and he was on them. He was a big fan of the Samoans. Who else? It's a lot of folks my grandpa put me on. His favorite back in the day used to be the Great Kaboom.
Yeah.
Because he just liked to see the man spit in other people's face for some reason. So, but yeah, man, I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, man. Just never know that I'll be able to finally get into it myself.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. I know what you're talking about, man. My mother was a big Coco Beware fan.
Yep.
So, some of them wrestlers back in the day, she really, really loved, man. I've been in the wrestling since the late 90s and stuff like that. Who was your guy growing up, man?
Man, I didn't have just one guy because so I was, when I got introduced to Japan stuff, like, all right, as kids, man, we all came up on cartoons and all this stuff. So I was real big into like Ronin Warriors, Dragon Ball Z, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Cartoons like that, Samurai Piece of Cats. And then what really sparked interest to me in it was the showmanship of it when Juice and Thunder Liger started coming to the States. Now back then, I'm like in kindergarten, first grade back then. And I'm seeing dude and I'm like, hey, this is a real life comic book character. So watching the matches with him, Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio, that's what really got me into it. And then what really stuck with me with the larger than life personas was like listening to the Flair interviews or listening to Macho Man Randy Savage interviews. And then when I started coming of age, wrestling hit like a weird period of time to me to where it got weird.
Yeah.
It was like it just wasn't intriguing no more. So then that's when I really started getting into like Japanese stuff, like Four Pillars. Started following Masawa, started getting into like people like I'm probably gonna name some people that folks don't even know about. Getting into like Masawa Tanahashi, getting into like Kenta, like those are the type of guys that we used to follow, man. And then as the 2000s hit, started getting more back into the showmanship and the larger than life personalities. And I don't know, man, it just stuck with me.
Okay. So you was more into like the showmanship side of wrestling?
Man, so this gonna sound kind of weird. It's the execution of a lot of stuff. So all right, to kind of explain it, like, all right, so I come from a music background. And a lot of people don't know, they see the performance aspect, but they don't see the hours of practice that goes on behind the scenes. So wrestling kind of translate to the same way with me. Like you'll see, they call them, I hate it when people say spot monkeys and all this stuff, but it's like, man, a lot of people don't understand what all they did or the thought process to say, hey, I'm gonna do this, circle back around and do this. Like it's the preparation aspect of it to me. Because when I see certain people do certain things, it's like, to me, it's like, how the hell did they come up with it?
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
But that's what I mean when I say the showmanship aspect. Like if you go back and watch Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero from like 90s ECW, they was way ahead of their time. And watching it is like, man, what made them think of it? You go back and watch Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, it's like, man, what made them think of it? So that's how I look at a lot of stuff.
Hey, that's what's up. Japanese got some really dope wrestling and a lot of stuff that go on there. I'm a big fan of like the storytelling, because lately, not too much. Besides, I think the Roman Reigns and the WWE, I guess that's like the only big storytelling that I go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying true.
Yeah, the big storytelling that they, got right now. So that's kind of like, drew me into the business and, into wrestling. As I got older and I started to, watch more wrestling and stuff like that, I started to get into like Ring of Honor, where and learn more, wrestling in Japan wrestling also, where it's just not so more just entertainment value. It's just these guys going out there 30, 40 minutes and, doing their thing.
Telling the story with it, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand how great Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper was. Like the story that they told within that one match.
Yeah.
Or since I'm on Bret, the story that Bret and Austin told when they did the double turn. It was like people don't understand it, but it's like for those who get it, it's like a, I don't know, it's like an unspoken level of appreciation that we all have for it.
Yeah, you're right. You are certainly right. What were some of like your biggest stories or memories of wrestling growing up?
You talking about from what I seen on TV?
Yeah, or otherwise.
Great story. All right, I'm gonna go with one everybody talks about, the pipe bomb story The way they set it up, even though I after they gave him the title, they dropped it. But the setup, the build up to that was great. A lot of people forget how dope JBL's run was.
I watched that. I rewatched that, and he had a great run.
Storyline wise, to where it's a program, and I love this, and a lot of people gonna laugh at me for saying this. And I wish it wasn't a throwaway pay-per-view match, and they should have built off it, at least in my personal opinion. So you had Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe set up for Great Balls of Fire. You cannot tell me those promos that Joe was cutting was not fire.
I remember that. They was fire. It was
fire for it to be a throwaway pay-per-view. When they were like, yeah, Great Balls of Fire, we was like, man, what kind of pay-per-view is that? He sold it. And then you get that to kind of go back to the Roman Reigns thing. As much as I like Roman, Jey Uso set that up. By the way, he was storytelling.
Okay.
When they had they match at the Hell in a Cell, I love you, but I'm gonna beat them out of you. Like that to me, Jey Uso told that. But then, man, it's so many different storylines, bro. I'm gonna throw one up. It's funny that I thought about this when we was watching. So Austin and Rock, was it 18? Whichever year where Deborah had to be Rock's manager. There's just a rehash of Hogan and Macho Man for the whole Miss Elizabeth thing.
I think it was 17.
It was 17? Okay.
Yeah. Rockin' Stone Cold with Deborah.
Yeah, because 18 was Austin's last one.
19 was Austin's last one. 19, yeah.
Okay. But I was watching it. I was like, man, it's a lot of parallels between the Hogan and Macho Man beef that they had going on. And then I don't know, but I'm weird like that, man. I get to picking the patterns and trying to see what's been rehashed and what's brought over.
Yeah.
Now for smaller promotions, I love what they're doing with Jacob Fatu down in MLW. I love what they're doing with him. I'm glad they gave Calvin Takeman a rub and put them in the program together. Who else is a dope storyteller? The Broken Universe that Matt Hardy started a few years ago. Like I was on that from day one because I knew it was gonna turn into some campy, cokey, and it was gonna get a cult following.
Yeah.
Now one main storyline that a lot of people may not remember. It was Mike Quackenbush. I can't remember who he was in a feud with. So a lot of people look up Chikara Wrestling. If you look up Chikara Wrestling, you're gonna see like the early days of people like Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, El Generico, Pac. You'll see like all of their early stuff. But they did a big storyline with Mike Quackenbush where he couldn't beat this one guy, but he finally found a way to beat him by creating a submission hold that nobody can break out of.
Oh, wow.
It's called the Chikara Special. And he finally beat him with it. So he said, my number one purpose is to go around and teach everybody who works for Chikara the Chikara Special. So they turned the move in itself into a storyline. Now, nobody can break free of the hold except for the man who created it, which was Mike Quackenbush. He showed it to somebody because they put it on him and he got out of it. And this one person went and told his rival. So when him and his rival doubled back around, his rival broke out of it and then turned around and beat him with his own version of the Chikara Special. They did a whole storyline for a full year on some Who Shot John trying to figure out who told the secret of the Chikara Special.
Yo.
But it's like stuff like that, man. It's like, man, how do y'all come up with this? But,
man, you're right about that. I like that. I really, really like that right there, man. You mentioned the Roman Reigns one, and Jey Uso did tell a story. When you think Jimmy's gonna get involved in it?
Man, I'm hoping it's soon. All right, so as much as I like it, it's a lot of parallels to it that I don't like.
Okay.
Because we know Roman can get in there and he can handle his own.
Mm-hmm.
But every major match, Jimmy has been making the save.
Yeah.
Like every single match. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. It's cool every other match, or it's cool for like the TV matches. But even for the pay-per-view matches, the big money matches, it's like, all right, it's starting to get old. It's starting to get stale. Now, what I'm hoping to see, and I kind of got a feeling it's going to go that way, but I'm not up there. I don't write for them. This is just what I see and what I would personally do. I would have Jay come back, have him try to get Jimmy out from under the banner. They have a little feud. He gets the better of Jimmy, and then he goes after Roman, and the same thing happens. Like, oh, okay, you supposed to be family. This what it is. You know what's up. I'm gonna do you like I did him. You see him, he fall in line. But to be between Jimmy and Jay could be, Jimmy could be like, the only reason I'm in this situation is because of you. Because Roman never beat Jimmy. Because Jimmy, only reason why Jimmy quit is because Roman attacked Jay. So Jimmy's excuse could be, the only reason I'm in this situation is because of you. But that's how I would play it.
Hey, you're right, man. I like that though. I'm waiting to see when they're gonna bring the other Uso back, because I thought maybe at WrestleMania that the Uso was gonna turn on Roman, and that's where we get the other Uso in, and of course they start beefing and stuff like that. I was thinking maybe they formed the bloodline, but we don't have no other trios in WWE right now to see how that goes. So I mean, I really don't know. That'd be a cool, something to see. That'd be cool, something to see. We're gonna move on here, you guys, on Talk Pro Wrestling. You mentioned you were in the music. How that worked out for you and stuff.
So I was in the music, man. I came up doing music since I was a kid. Like everybody started out in church, kind of branched out doing my own thing. Got into rap and hip hop like everybody, because that's what brought me to it. Got into that, and at least around Little Rock, man, for years we've been writing, performing, doing shows out here, trying to progress, throwing shows, bringing artists down. But it hit a point to where it was like it's a glass ceiling in certain situations. And I'm a firm believer of not being mad at what you already know. And certain people who have been artists in this area for so long, they've already showed us what to expect from the market. Like here, if you're a rap artist, you're gonna get some support, but it's an extent to that support you're gonna get. And some of us, we came into it trying to break the mold of that, trying to go a different route. But at the end of the day, you just got to realize your circumstances in your area. At least for me, I can't speak for anybody else who does music here in the city or in the state, but the support that we need in the avenue and the lanes that we need, they're not going to be provided here in Arkansas. So I was like, all right, I always said when I turn 25, I'm gonna find something different if this doesn't pan out the way that I want it to. Because man, we've been in meetings with celebrities, been in doc meetings, and all of the meetings that I've been in, it's been one main question: what is it to gain from your population in your city? Can you guarantee 50,000 tickets if we bring a major artist down? Can you guarantee album sales? Can you guarantee streams? With these big companies at the time, it's all about numbers. Mm-hmm. And the numbers, even though the support is here, the numbers don't reflect it. So I was like, hey man, you can't argue with that. I can't fight it. I can't fight a system that doesn't work for us, so we don't really fall in that line. So I got to find something different. And that's how I kind of fell into actually getting in the ring myself.
Hey man, that's what's up. That's what's up. You're right about that, man. I did some rapping. I have a lot of people, especially on my main podcast on EB Radio, that be coming on and do music and stuff like that, and talk about how I did music. And yeah, man, certain places, like I'm from DC, so not too many, people, who rap or do music or, whether they sing or whatever, maybe singing a little different, but rapping, it's a glass ceiling. You can only get but so high or gain but so much, success from being in certain areas, certain places, like I noticed, like being a rapper and living in Georgia or Atlanta, that's your best bet. But you talked about how you got on the road right after that. You found wrestling. What got the ball rolling?
Man, so what got the ball rolling was the fact that I'm fat and I can jump. like so on top of doing music for so long, man, like I've always been into like kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, different disciplines of kickboxing. You got American kickboxing, you got Muay Thai, which I love Muay Thai because it's funny when you get to switch your stances and you see the look on people's face like, what the hell is that? But the fact that I do certain things that I do for my size, man, like, and the crowd, they just eat it up for some reason. Like that's what made me that's honestly what made me stick with it, man. It's like the crowd, like we literally had a situation, and I know somebody gonna watch this, but we had a situation where one company wanted me to work heel, but because the crowd liked my style, they wouldn't turn on me.
Oh wow, okay.
And like I said, it just took, man, in the fact that I kind of equate what's going on with wrestling, how I look at the music business, and I just take everything that I learned from the music business wise, and apply it to wrestling. So as far as promoting, getting booked, the way I carry myself when I'm in locker rooms with other people, I always make sure to do the right thing and try to treat people in situations the right way, opposed to have some people kind of get on their arrogant, big head cockiness. So, but yeah, man, what made me stick with it was seeing the reactions that I was getting from a lot of people. I kind of generated a buzz in my area kind of quickly within a year. And here it is 3 years later since I started training. I don't want to say I'm carrying the company because I believe that you're only as good as the person you're in the ring with. So it's not just me, it's a group effort of everybody, from the workers in the ring to the lady at concession stand. But here I am now. I'm the I'm the heavyweight champion of one of the major companies here in Arkansas that runs on a regular basis. I go back and forth between here and Georgia from time when I can, and I work for Live Wire Wrestling and Coastal Empire Wrestling. They got a lot of good talent out there too. Yeah, and I'm just working on getting a lot of connections with a lot of people. And so far, the way that I've done the music, even though it might have failed in that aspect, is working in this one. So,
hey man, look, hey, what's destined is going to happen for you, man. So keep at it, man. Keep at it. You talked about on your YouTube, man, being a big guy in wrestling, not changing, certain things because, the politics in wrestling, people don't want you to come off the top rope, doing a drop kick, doing XYZ and stuff like that. What's the obstacles that you are overcoming or you had to overcome since you've been in the wrestling business 3 years as a big man in wrestling?
So the area that I'm in, man, we call it the Bible Belt. Super old school Memphis territory. That's what they love. And in a lot of situations, it's not the fans. In a lot of situations, it's either the promoters or the bookers. And this isn't talking down on anybody, but a lot of them, some of them are old school. So when I walk through the door, first thing they say is, "Oh, this is my next Mark Henry." Like literally, when I was approached about wrestling for the first time by somebody, that's what he said. "Oh man, I want you to be my next Mark Henry." And I'm like, man, why can't I be like your next Bam Bam Bigelow or your next Vader or something like that? Like they never mention them, but it's always. So I was like, man, I get it. I'm a big dude. I'm a big black dude. So there's one thing that whether people want to admit it or not, that some promoters will hold against you. But like I said, man, I get out there and I hit a Trouble in Paradise as a transition move or something just to get the crowd to pop. And then I go to the back. Why did you do that move here? That should be the finish for somebody your size. Like, dude, chill out, bro. We putting on a show for the crowd. Like, or I get what you're saying as a promoter, but if you don't have me in any kind of storyline, any kind of angle, My job is to go out there and pop the crowd and make the crowd want to see me more and possibly see your show more. So, but we get a lot of old school cats, man. Like, I've heard it all, bro. Like, you shouldn't be running around the ring, and you shouldn't be doing drop kicks, and I get you do suplexes, but they're not safe, man. I've never heard anybody on a suplex outside of the realm of how I'm supposed to hurt them. Nobody's getting injured. I do power bomb spots off the top rope where I'm taking the power bomb, and they're like, man, you shouldn't be doing it. That's not safe. But I'm like, dude, it just is what it is, man. Like, we're fighting, so I got to get hurt.
Exactly. Weird question though. Was it offensive? How did you feel when he said, man, we want you to be our next Mark Henry?
Oh, when he said it, I just started laughing. So when I came into wrestling, now when I first started getting trained, I already knew what I wanted to do. So my trainers didn't give me any pushback. They were like, all right, we get what you want to do, but we're going to train you this way. And then we're going to come back. And once you have been trained properly, then we'll start incorporating what you want to do. But some other guys, they're like, nope, we're good. And I don't get offended by it because I'm the type of person, like, either you're going to use me or you're not. So if you're not going to use me and you don't like what I'm doing, I'm not going to pay any attention to it. I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm just going to move on to the next promotion down the road.
Okay. Are you the type of big guy that wants to be like a Mark Henry, or you want to be like a more so a 205 big guy, or sort of say?
Now, nothing against him, because I respect everything the Mark has done. But I'm real big on just trying to create my own lane and doing something that I don't want to be the next Mark Henry. I don't want to be the next Joe. I don't want to be the next Vader, Bam Bam. I want to be the first me.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of cats don't understand. Or when I try to explain it to them, it's like, oh, well, I still rather you go and do this, or you move this way, or I want you to be the big mean heel. Like, I get that. I can go out there and work heel, but I'm goofy, man. I like to create jokes. So I'll slap somebody in the face in the ring and tell them they microwave dirty. And the crowd will laugh. Yeah. And the crowd will laugh. And like I said, man, like the comparisons, I get it. It's cool. I get that's what some people want to do, because it's I'm real big on doing what the promoter wants, but at the same time, it's a reason why you brought me in as a talent. You brought me in because it was something about me that made you want to bring me in. So when I get there, why try to change me? Unless you're gonna teach me something, I'm all about learning. Yeah. But if you're gonna chew me out because you don't like something that I've done, present it to me in a way that you know you're teaching me, instead of just saying, oh, F this guy, F everything you doing, you'll never work my show again. Because I have had that situation happen before.
Crazy business, man. Crazy business. What keeps you motivated though?
Just the hustle, man. Just the hustle and the grind of it. I don't like I'm not one of the ones that likes to just sit around and do nothing. So like literally when COVID hit, I sat in the house for like 2 months, and then when certain things started opening up, we was on the road every week. Like even now to this day, like I work at least one show every week.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what a grind at.
Everyone has something to say, a story to tell. We make it easy to share yours. So let's talk.
Regardless of your podcast setup, hit record. And from there, whether your podcast reaches 10 people or 10 million, we can help you get heard wherever listeners are.
And who knows, maybe even quit your day job.
But no matter who hears you, it's about connecting and sharing something from your perspective.
It's about having a voice and using it without anything standing in your way. Say it all with Anchor.
How you been staying focused throughout the whole COVID?
Man, just trying to stay positive, man. Trying to stay positive, keeping finances in order. And I got my shoot job. I got my 9 to 5, but I don't like it. but I'm like, hey, it's paying the bills. I knock this out, and then Friday I can get ready to go hit the road. So this just how I stay motivated. That's how I keep pushing through everything. I just look forward to the weekend so I can get out there, get in the ring somewhere.
Okay. Hey, that's cool. That's cool, man. And it's gonna be like that, man. You're gonna have great success in the wrestling business. And as you keep pursuing wrestling, if you could wrestle anyone by defending your RWE title, who would it be?
Man, I got a few people. I got a few people in no particular order because they all could be a number one. You got Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor.
Shout out to Shane Taylor. I had him on the podcast.
Of course, you got Joe, because I get a lot of Joe comparisons because people see my shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got Jacob Fatu. You got Calvin Tankman. Man, it's a lot of people. You got Leo Rush.
Oh man,
that'll be a challenge just to try to keep up with his speed.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Strickland will be a dope one.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Who else could I think about? I mean, bro, with me, the list goes on and on, man. Like, it's a lot of people that I would like to get in the ring with. A lot of independent people, man, that I see in the groups and who be posting their videos online, man. Like, I feel like we can have a lot of dope matchups. It's just getting everything booked.
Okay. Hey, man, I would love to see that. You versus Shane Taylor. I had Shane Taylor on the podcast, and Tyree Taylor, and Leo Rush, being from DC and stuff like that. So, man, that'd be really, really cool, man. Really, really cool. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on talk.
Leo will be a challenge just trying to.
He sure will.
Leo will be a challenge just trying to keep up with him, man. But it'll be a dope match, man.
Yeah, it really would. It really would.
Man, now one that I would love to do, as much as a lot of people would hate it, and I know it may not never happen unless I blow up or something. I would love to have a match with Walter.
Walter? Why Walter?
Man, just seeing dude get in there and beat people up, bro, it's like, hey, man, I want to fight you too.
I'm going to pray for your chest, man, if you get in there.
Hey, but I hit him right back.
I know you will, man. It's going to happen for you. But you guys, we're going to move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. You still vlogging and stuff like that with your YouTube channel?
Yeah, man. So I'm getting back on my vlogging. I kind of chilled out for a little bit because I'm working on trying to throw a couple of passion projects or events out here in my area because in Little Rock, a wrestling show hasn't been done in like almost 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I finally got the clearance and I finally got the area to where I'm throwing my own show out here. So I wanted to kind of chill out and focus on that. But another reason why I kind of chilled out on vlogging is because before I was able to bring my own camera people or camera person to kind of film my own stuff. But now one of the companies is they have their own camera crew and nothing about them, but I'm not really privy or I'm not really liking how they're shooting their footage. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything that I would say, hey, I want to watch this based off of how they're filming. So it's a couple kinks, man. We're still trying to work out. But I am going to get back to vlogging here soon. I'm going to get back to dropping a whole lot more content. I haven't figured out if I'm going to do like a mix of music and wrestling content on my channel yet because I'm still trying to figure that out. But I know here shortly, man, here within the next month, I am going to be dropping a whole lot more content.
Hey, man, that's what's up. Keep doing it, man. I subscribe to your channel. You guys go subscribe to it. Toomer TV on YouTube. You're a funny dude, like you said, man. I was on your Facebook and saw one of your posters, man. They had me cracking up. The stepdaddy side dude services, man. Tell my listeners about that one, man.
Man, so I work for a company that we do interviews for colleges. And they wanted to do like a sales type project just to kind of pass time because somebody had got caught up with something and it was like a company-wide emergency thing to where they were like, hey, we're going to set y'all up in groups and y'all come up with this project. So the project was to come up with the service and to sell it to the general public. So I was like, man, on my team, I was like, man, y'all sit at home, I get this. So if you think about it, what's the one thing in the world you always see on a regular basis? somebody baby mama. You walk in the store, you go in the gas station, it's somebody baby mama. You go in Walmart, you go and get groceries, you hit the club, you're gonna run into somebody baby mama. So I was like, man, what if I offer stepdaddy services as a buy-in product for only when y'all need it? And that's how that came about, man. Like, you need help with homework, I'm there for you for a nominal fee. You need help cleaning the house, you need me to watch the kids while you go chill for a couple hours, I got you. If you need me to rub on your back and tell you that you're beautiful, I got you. But you're gonna have to pay for them services. And that's how that came out.
Hey man, that's what's up, man. I like it. I really cracked up the part where when you told the kids, man, when you get in the store, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing.
Oh yeah.
You know how it go, man.
That's the classic one. Don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing, don't breathe, don't make me get crazy.
Yeah. Hey man, that's what's up, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm looking forward to it on YouTube, man. But did you enjoy WrestleMania?
Yeah, man. I enjoyed night 1 more than night 2.
Yeah, I think
even though night 2 had night 2, the sleeper matches that people aren't really talking about, the Sheamus and Matt Riddle match. Man, that was dope. I'm glad my man Cesaro finally got his moment. He finally bust out the UFO after about 10 years. I'm glad he got that spot. And a lot of people, even though it was the main event, I feel like the way that they did it was dope, man. The Edge, Roman, and Bryan match was dope, especially the crossface spot where they were headbutting each other. Yeah, like that spot was dope, man. And the storytelling through that match was dope too. Yeah. But WrestleMania was dope, man. But like I said, I enjoyed night 1 a little more. I don't know what it is about Bianca Belair. It's real. It's like, not trying to break kayfabe and say wrestling is fake. Wrestling is not fake. We don't use the F word in wrestling.
No, it's not. No.
But with Bianca Belair, man, it's something like she gonna be big, bro. Like it's something about her when you're watching her. And when she break down or when she get to celebrating certain stuff, it's like, I don't know, it's a feeling like, hey, I'm proud for this girl, like I grew up down the street from her. And it's like with her, not just with her, but with Montez too. Like you can tell it's like, hey, this is real for us. This is how we make our bread. This is our living. Like, forget what everybody else talking about. It's gonna be us. And that's dope, man. That's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. She gonna be a star. And I'm right with you once again, man. It's something about Bianca Belair. To me, I think she bouncy. I don't know. I guess it's a rhythm. It's a song. It's just a swag when she comes to the ring. And
because it's her. It's like, we talk about this all the time here. With me and a couple of my homies. Should I say that? All right, it is what it is. When you think about wrestling, everybody has a gimmick. Everybody has something about them. But like, it was really dialed up or toned up, especially in the Attitude Era, when you had the big names like Austin, Rock, Triple H, Foley, Mankind. The only real character in that whole group, or characters in that whole group, if you think about it from that era, was Undertaker, Kane, maybe Gangrel if you throw him in there, but everybody else was themselves, just dialed up to 11. Right. Like if you think about Godfather, if you go back and watch any pay-per-view from the early 2000s, and soon Godfather music hit, boom, it's the crowd gonna pop. He gonna hit the curtain dancing, but that's how he really is. Like with APA, when they started doing the Accolades Protection Agency and they were drinking beer, that's who they really were. Austin, that's who he really was. Rock, even though it's still elements of character in there, but once he really started popping off after about 98, it was who he really was, especially Triple H too. So I think that's what it is with people like Joe, people like Charlotte. people like Bianca Belair, Montez Ford. You can tell when they're out there, they're not playing a gimmick. That's who they really are. And it's aspects like that that's dope to me, man, because it's the human element. Like they even though they're on TV and they're these larger than life personalities, they still seem like people you can still walk up and have a conversation with, opposed to somebody who gonna tell me to eat my vitamins and say my prayers just to give me the smile and to get me on out my way.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Hey yo, the Bianca, man. When she won the Royal Rumble, that emotion, man. And also, of course, when she won the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania, that emotion was just purified. I love it. She's gonna be champ for a long time, man. I can't wait to see where it goes with Bianca Belair and stuff like that. So you're completely right about that. What's your thoughts on the wrestling business as a whole?
Man, it's a lot of things that a lot of people ain't liking, but I like it, bro. Like if you think about it, we got wrestling going on national TV every day of the week. And then we get indie promotions popping up every day of the week. I feel like it's always I feel like every few years it's like a new crop of guys who you can tell are like gonna be the next big superstars. And I feel like in certain areas we're kind of in the cuff with that right now. If you're in the Georgia area, Georgia, East Tennessee, Upper Florida area, it's a group of guys called the Exotic Youth. Zach Mosley, Cornelius Pepperbottom, and Bryce Cannon. Like, man, if you look them up, like you can tell, like, hey, these guys, they gonna be somewhere within the next 2 to 5 years. You can tell it. Not just with them, but with a few other guys in the area. And I feel like we're back in that lane to where, all right, back in the day, you knew who the huge indie stars was. When Kevin Steen and Edge and Jericho was doing their thing, when the Bucks was blowing up before they got screwed over by TNA, like I feel like we're kind of slowly going back into that again, because with what one major company has done, was they shine light on the fact that the independence has a lot of talent. And then that made people say, hey, I'm gonna start checking out other stuff. Like when who's somebody I can name? When Carter was doing his open challenges, he was bringing up certain people from certain indie promotions. And what it did was, by them doing that, a lot of people was crying and complaining, saying, oh, Cody just booked them to put himself over. But now Cody gave them exposure. What they did was they took that exposure back to their home promotion and brought eyes to their own product. Like, I remember he did a match against Warhorse. Yeah, he did a match against the Warhorse guy. And all of a sudden, I look up, dude getting booked everywhere. And I'm like, it's stuff like that I don't know, man. It's stuff like that I just have an appreciation of. I ain't gonna lie, I called Cody up, like, hey, bro, what's up? Fight me too.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You like the way AEW running things over there?
Yeah, I like it because it's different, man. Like, I understand some people are complaining about it. Oh, well, it's not like the E. It's not supposed to be like the E. It's supposed to be something totally different. They fussing about a lot of people fuss about them being in so many factions right now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, you getting people on TV who would never had a chance to be on TV by doing that. Like, nothing against him, and I know he put in a lot of work, but would you, if he was in the WWE, would you see them doing anything with Will Hobbs? Would you see them doing anything with Taz's son Hook? As great as they are, Santana and Ortiz, if they was in the E, they'd just be another tag team being jobbed out. So that's what I appreciate about AEW. And then on top of that is you get everybody is a superstar in their own right. But what I love about AEW is anybody can get beat at any given time. Opposed to if you see Randy Orton versus Cedric Alexander, who winning after that?
Yeah, so, we already know. We already know.
So that's what I appreciate about AEW.
Okay, man. I dig it. I ain't got nothing wrong with the too many factions. I noticed that a couple of people was bringing that out, mentioning that. I was just like, okay, man. Hey, a lot of guys are getting on TV. They're getting exposure.
I'm looking at.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that's how I'm looking at it. Like they getting on TV, and then not only are they getting on TV, they getting invited back. Like a lot of people are forgetting about Dark and Dark Elevation. Like they're getting invited back on a regular basis, and it's great, man. It's a good time, man.
You're right. Hey, back in the days when I like I told you early in the podcast, I came into wrestling in about late 90s, so I was a little late on the WCW. So every time I can get, I take the advantage to watch AEW because I wasn't around when there was so-called or a real war that was going on. But so I take a chance to, check out what AEW doing, man. And I like it, man. I really, really do. Hey, big man, K Toomer, man. I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, in Little Rock, Arkansas, June 5th. You mentioned you got a big event you putting on. Can you tell my listeners about it?
Yeah, man. So when I say this name, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm doing the event June 5th, 2021 here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it's called the Battle at the Catalina Wine Mixer. And it's going to be a mix of talent from here in Arkansas. We got a few guys coming in from other states. Exotic Youth got a few of their members coming down that I spoke about earlier. Hopefully trying to lock in a couple of other people. But everything is booked. Everything is set. The event is going through. It's one of the first wrestling events in the Little Rock area to be done in almost 10 years, per my knowledge. And it's being 100% done by myself and one of the guys I travel the roads with. So we're gonna put on our own show, our own way. We're doing this it's almost like a passion project because it's something that we all been wanting to do for so long. Everybody wants to throw a show and perform in front of their hometown. And that's what we're doing. This flyer that I get back up. I'm too far on it. But this flyer that I got behind me, man. Past couple of days I've been working on the flyers for everything. Yeah, individual screens for everybody, player select screens, Catalina wine mixer screens, all of that. But it's just an event, man, that we want to throw on for the city, for the state, to show that hey, pro wrestling is real here in Arkansas. This is something that people can do, and it's a different lane that a lot of people can take too if they want to pursue it. So
hey man, that's what's up. Wrestling is real in Little Rock, Arkansas. You guys go check out the event June 5th, man. It's gonna be dope. Big man, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast once again. Before you go, man, what was your reactions, man, to the verdict on Wednesday?
Oh man, we're gonna hit that. The verdict was perfect. What I don't want to happen is a technicality pops up and they find some kind of way to overthrow the maximum sentence. And then say, oh, well, we ain't going to give them the 45 to 75. We're just going to give them 6 to 10. Now, I do need to be in there.
Yeah.
Now, they're kind of piggybacking off that. Same day, another situation just happened with another officer and a little girl. I'm not going to go into too much details about it, me personally, because I didn't want to watch the video. But I will go as far as to say this. Police officers are not crime fighters. Y'all are there to see what's going on, de-escalate situations, and dissolve. Police officers are not crime fighters. There's no reason why another little girl should be dead because a police officer couldn't handle the situation. And I get a lot of people are going back and forth about, oh, well, the girls were out there fighting and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You can easily pepper spray everybody. You can easily detain everybody. You can easily stop somebody from doing something. I know because I used to work security and I've done it. Like I've had fights pop out where people pull their knives, sneak up behind them, put them in the chokehold, they sleep. So, but I feel the same way about Buddy who just got locked up. And then when it came out about him that they had kind of like a personal beef anyway. Yeah, it like I said, police officers are not crime fighters. And I feel like some of them feel like they are above the law when it comes down to certain situations. And I hate to say it like this, but it's the reality of it. They feel like they're above the law because so many times they've gotten away with doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time that one got caught, because I hate to say it, I feel a part of it is they found them guilty because they knew if they would have did otherwise, the nation was gonna get tore up even worse. And I think that was partially a prevention tactic, but justice was served. The man killed that man. We seen it all on tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right about
what it is.
It is, man. It is what it is. America dodged the bullet, man. Hey, man, that's it with that one right there. Hey, yo, big man, K Toomer, I appreciate you joining me, man, on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Before you go, any questions, any shout outs, anything you like to say?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody, man. All the independent workers, man, trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do, working to make a name, working to make a quick dollar. A lot of people don't know it shows where we get paid $150 a show. It shows we get paid $3. So hey, we shouts out to everybody on the grind, man. Shouts out to one major shout out I want to give is to Jabari, man. Jabari McIntyre from the Now Group. Without him and the group, a lot of us would have never been able to connect with each other the way that we're doing. And the group is amazing, man. So if you're a black wrestler, definitely look up NAW, NAAW, the Nation of African American Wrestling. Look that up because it's nothing but love in there.
Yes, it is.
Nothing but love and networking opportunities, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta give a major shout out to dude.
Yeah, gotta give a major shout out to that group, man. I share my podcast in that group. It's a dope group. So if you're a black wrestling fan, get in the group, man, and chop it up with everybody else, man. Big man Toomer, man. Any other stuff you got coming up for you?
Man, nothing major going on. Like I said, I got this title belt, the championship from Revolutionary RWE. To do, get booked on different shows. I'm looking to get different matchups. Looking to put on shows, different types of matchups with different people. That's what I want to do, man. Like I want to do this while I'm able to control my own air.
Okay.
And that's really what I'm working on doing right now.
Hey, man, you're gonna succeed, man. Keep going at it, keep pushing at it. Thank you for joining me, man, this week on the 1130 podcast, man. Stay safe, keep at it, man. Keep at it.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Thank you for joining me this week on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem. Yo, big man K Toomer. Thank you for joining me this week on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. It was a dope time chatting it up with you, man. For real, man. Really, really dope time chatting it up, man. Hear your stories, man, and everything, man. Really, really cool. I wish you nothing but success in the wrestling business, man. Keep killing it. Keep doing your drop kicks. Keep doing your power bombs, man. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, man. And yeah, man, just keep doing your thing. You're gonna get that match with Shane Taylor, Joe one day, just as long as you keep believing and have faith and keep working hard at it. And you 3 years strong in it, so I know you got it, my guy. I know you got it. You're already the RWE champion. One more time for my guest, you guys, big man K Toomer here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yo, and shout out to everybody in Little Rock, Arkansas, you guys, man. For real, wrestling is not, dead there, you guys. And go check out the show, June 5th, man. He's putting it on. And yo, support it, man. For real, support it. And also, you guys, go subscribe to K Toomer TV on YouTube and follow K Toomer on all social media platforms, you guys, man. Thank you once again, my guy, for joining me on the podcast. Yo, man, it's been an exciting episode, man. It's Friday, you guys. Hope you guys' day is going well. Each and every Friday here on Talk Pro Wrestling, man. My man K Toomer mentioned Bianca Belair, man. Man, it's something about her, man. It's something about her. Every time her music hits, man, and she just coming out there bouncing, now she got hold of the SmackDown Women's Championship when she bounced down with it. But man, she be grooving, man. I just love it. And when she won at the Royal Rumble, that pure emotion, and what made it even more special and made it even more, like a moment is that they showed her parents reacting to it and how her father just flipped over the couch. And even at WrestleMania, how her father damn near almost fell over the birdcage. You feel me? Like, that's so cool, man, seeing the father being that excited, man, for his daughter winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, man. So, yo, man, hey, we are on the road to Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, however the hell you want to call it, man. But yo, man, I'm enjoying wrestling. Just like my man Big Man K Toomer said, we got Impact Wrestling coming up this Sunday, pay-per-view Rebellion, where we got Kenny Omega taking on Rich Swann, both titles on the line, you guys. Who you guys got, man? Of course, Kenny Omega, I'm pretty sure. But I feel this match is going to end in somewhat like a DQ or something. That's what I'm guessing. I call it DQ. That's my final pick. Man, Ring of Honor, you guys. I know a lot of people may have been sleeping on Ring of Honor a little bit, but man, I did some catching up on Ring of Honor, man. And I sat back and I was like, damn, I've been missing this. Like, Ring of Honor just put on just pure wrestling, and I just love it, man. It was a match between Jay Lethal and Jonathan Grisham. I hope I'm saying his name right. Jonathan Grisham for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, man. That match was dope. You know how my man Grisham used all his rope breaks up. I love the rules to the Pure Rules match. I'm still learning, and I haven't watched Ring of Honor in a little bit, but when I got back, I was like, I like these rules, It's kind of like a video game, sort of, you lose all your reversals now. And now you're sort of short in a little, but he used all his rope breaks up, and he won the damn match, though. He won the match. That was crazy, but hey, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving wrestling. Like you said, independent wrestling on every week. What a time to be a fan, you guys. What a time to be a fan. What a time to be a fan of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yes, you guys, man. Thank you for joining me this week on the 1130 podcast. Before I go, don't forget, you guys, to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe. Yes, subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube, you dig? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating and a review, and follow me. Hit that notification bell on Spotify. And yo, the 1130 podcast, the main podcast, you guys, each and every Wednesday on EB Radio and YouTube, you guys, streaming at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you guys. Tune in, come catch the vibe. Download the free EB Radio app right now so you can listen to some dope music. They got hip hop, R&B, they got podcasts. You can ride the wave, man. You can get your DJ on for all that, man, for real. So download the free EB Radio app now. For real, man. And if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130podcast@gmail.com. The 1130podcast@gmail.com, or just DM me or message me on social media so we can work, man. For real. I'm excited. I know you guys excited because this was a dope episode of Talk Pro Wrestling. I hope you guys enjoy SmackDown tonight, man. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited, though. Hey, yo, man, before I head on out of here, man. Yo, you guys, look yourself in the mirror, man. No one's perfect, you guys, man. Give the glory to God, man, and just keep pushing at it. For real. It's your man, Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. No, with me, yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. He the one, nigga. So let's get it, baby. He the one with me. So yeah. Breeze, baby. Let's get it. You know it. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options. We blessed, we ain't got them problems. Speak something that I gotta be honest. Told him he was